on the track.
Hey Overthinkers, my name is Courtney and welcome to the Overthinker Guide. So today is going to be our last full day on the Valiant Lady for Virgin Voyages. So this is how our day went. So we had another excursion on this day, but it was actually later in the day, like it was in the afternoon. So we had some time before we had to get off the ship. So we kind of had a slow morning. Since we didn't have to get off immediately, we had two ships that were like pulling next to us, so I kind of just watched them pull in. Celebrity was already there. This was the port that had the most ships. Celebrity was already there when we came, and then shortly after Norwegian and then Carnival came, and we were all side by side. Like you could probably look into another person's cabin. Like that's how close we were. I brought my mom down an omelet because she didn't feel like going up there, and we were only on we were only on deck 14, so it's just a walk up. So that's another. So okay, I don't know if I've said it in the previous videos. I don't think I have. So we're on deck 14 in the mid. Were we in mid? Yeah, midship. And we were like right underneath the galley. Best decision ever, because I can just walk up and walk down like whenever I want. So definitely try to get a midship, a midship cabin on deck 14 or wherever deck is below the galley. Because it's just convenience. After breakfast, like I said, I brought my mom's omelet down. We were gonna eat in the balcony, but I think she ended up not doing that. But once we finished eating, we decided to go ahead and get a jump on packing. So we wanted to go ahead and just get the packing out of the way because we didn't want to have to worry about doing it later on that night. Those of us who've cruised often, we all know that packing, and really any trip you go on, packing up is the worst part. But we spent our time doing that, getting that situated. You do have an option to have your bags left out of your cabin the night before disembarkation. Which is why I would definitely say do it earlier in the day, so you're not rushing to do it before you have to set it out. But we didn't do that. We just wanted to make sure we had our stuff together so we could just take it off in the morning without any issues. After we packed, we still wanted to go out and see the port because our excursion was later in the afternoon. We weren't going to have enough time after the excursion to look around the port area. So we took that time to go out and just see what the immediate port area looked like. And we got our little breakfast snack at the Grounds Club, which is on deck 7. Again, that's the place to get your cookies. I'm going to vouch for Grounds Club. I don't think enough people talk about Grounds Club. Get your cookies from there. I didn't get cookies for breakfast, obviously, but I did get whatever, the chocolate croissant. That's what I got as my little breakfast snack. And then we went out to the port. Oh wow, I didn't write a lot of notes at all. I remember though, notes help jog my memory. We went out to the port, and there were dancers. I don't think I mentioned it, but there were dancers in front of Curacao also. But out greeting and performing. Actually, no, that didn't happen until later. I'm sorry, that didn't happen until the end. But there are dancers at St. Kitts. There is a St. Kitts and Nevis sign, and we were trying to take a picture in front of it, but people kept walking in the way. People kept going up to take their picture. I took someone's picture, but this lady was in his, kept coming in the picture. And I was like, ma'am, I'm trying to take his picture. Can you move? And he offered to take my picture, but I didn't really want a picture with the sign. I just wanted a picture of the sign. I need to get better at taking pictures of myself. Sidetracked. My mom was getting irritated because people kept getting in the way, not giving it room to just take a picture of the sign. And I think that becomes the issue when there's a lot of ships in port, is that it is crowded. But we eventually got the picture, and we walked around and looked at different souvenir shops so we could get our magnet. Because I feel like I mentioned this in one of the last videos, but I am trying to start collecting magnets to the places that I go to. So we were like, okay, we're in St. Kitts and Nevis. Let's go get a St. Kitts and Nevis magnet. We went out to the port, got our thing, went back on the ship. I think we just walked around for a little bit. And then it was pretty much close to 1 o'clock, so we went up to the shore things desk to get our number. We sat there and went back out, and we actually didn't start our excursion until like 45 minutes later than it was supposed to start. And I think it was because there were a lot of people on this excursion, or like on an excursion like this, where I don't think it was directly correlated with Virgin, or maybe it was, but I don't know. There was a lot of people, so I think they underestimated how many cars and vans that they would need to transport everybody. So we had to wait an extra 45 minutes for that. We drove around St. Kitts first. The driver, told us what we were driving by. We had 2 stops, but most of it was just driving. The first stop was at this like resort area. We stopped by this like resort area for like 15 minutes. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember why we stopped there. But we walked through it, took some pictures, and then got back on and rode around the rest of the island. And he was kind of explaining the different neighborhoods, like who lives there, that there was a lot of students that lived in certain places and things like that. Then we went by the resorts area. So this is where if you were flying into St. Kitts and just staying there, you would probably be staying in this particular area. So this was the nicer area for tourists. We didn't go to those resorts, we just drove around, and then we finally had a stop at the picture spot where to get your good picture from. The place that we went to was Timothy's Outlook. This is where I would suggest just like be wary of, not wary, like don't be like nervous, but like keep a lookout on people that are, they're vendors. They're going to try to get you to take a picture and make you pay for it. So be on the lookout for that, because I saw these guys with the monkey, like they'll have a monkey and they'll toss it on your shoulder and they'll take a picture, or they'll let you hold it and then they'll charge you for holding it. So as soon as I saw them with the monkey, I was like, oh no, absolutely not. So I was like running away from them. I think they thought I was scared of the monkey, but it's like, no, I'm not going to take a picture that I didn't want and to be forced to pay for it. So just keep an eye out for that. This is where I realized that we were all, even though like the excursion may have been different names, we were all ending up at the same place. Because I ran into Adrian, the woman I met at the, why is it blinking? After the scavenger hunt, really, and then ran into her again at the cocktail party, and then I ran into her on an excursion. That was the excursion. Mom was like looking at places of like where to move, and she said this might be one of the places. She kind of took it back after we got back, but in the moment she was like, oh, I would move here, but like in the nicer area. Also because the cost of living was surprisingly low. Or excuse me, hold on. I take it back. Cost of living is not low. To buy like a house is low there. After our excursion, we got back on the ship. I feel like we got back on like just in time before the I could say all aboard time. I think that is what it is, but before we have to get back on before they shut the doors. And obviously it was their excursion, so they weren't going to shut it on us until we were back on. My mom and I didn't mention this in the other videos, but my mom found a cocktail that she liked at the dock house. I think it was the daiquiri anise. It was something like that. I wrote down the recipe for her, but I guess I didn't save it. I just sent it to her. But she really liked that cocktail. It originally had grapefruit in it, but because of her medications that she take something in the grapefruit like affects the medicine, so she can't have grapefruit. So she was able to substitute it with pineapple, and that was like her cocktail for the trip. She went, when we got back on the ship, she went to the dock house to get that cocktail again, and she asked the bartender for the recipe, and I went off to go get a frozen drink because, again, this is the last full night. I've barely used my bar tab, so I was like, okay, let me try to use it up a little bit. And I got I was trying to look for really a smoothie. That's what I was trying to look for, because I know that they have them, but like when I look at the menu, I don't see like an option. And I wanted like a customized smoothie, which I also wasn't sure if was an option. I don't know, I didn't look hard enough. But I got one of the frosés, which is the frozen rosé. He charged me twice, even though I only got one. But I didn't realize that until later that night, or no, I don't think I didn't see it until the next day. But again, that was like free money, so that's why it wasn't a huge fuss. If I was paying for it, yeah, I would have been like, why'd you charge me twice? So keep an eye on your wallet, which is going to be in your app. It'll tell you what you spent. So I got that. While mom was like, sipping her drink. She said she was going to eventually come up to deck 15 or to the room or something like that. But I went back down to the dock house and she was still at the bar, and she had gotten like 2 more of the cocktails. So I was like, well, I'm glad you have the recipe so you can make it at home. Oh, and then I got the pizza place for lunch. I can't remember if I got the same pizza again. I think I did. But yeah. I actually regret not going to the galley for lunch more this trip, but there's always next time because I will be going again. So after we had lunch, we kind of relaxed, and then we went to It's a Ship Show, which was going to be our last like nightly entertainment. We actually ran into one of the couples that we ate dinner with at Gumbe. And we actually ended up sitting with them again for It's a Ship Show. So that particular show is like a dinner, I wouldn't say dinner theater, but a dinner and a game show situation. So they do have a meal that you could eat. I didn't really want anything. Also, I had thought I was going to eat at the test kitchen later, so I said no to eating. I'm gonna regret that later. But so yeah, I did have a dessert, but I didn't eat anything. Mom didn't eat anything because I think pretty much everything in the menu had something that she was allergic to, so she couldn't eat it anyway, or she didn't want to eat it. We watched the ship show, and it's like a circus talent show kind of thing. So I enjoyed it. There was definitely some interesting talents I had never seen before. Some might be terrifying. If you're not a clown person, I don't know if you'll like one of the acts, but I think the acts vary on sailings and on who's on the ship at that time. But it was pretty fun. We actually sat at the front, so the wife from the couple, she went up on the stage and participated. I can't remember. I'll have a video, I think. Did I record? I don't know if I recorded her or not. But she went up there in a participation thing, and it was fun. I actually liked It's a Ship Show. So after that, I had my tattoo, and which is covered up right now. But if you've seen other videos, you've probably seen it. But I got my tattoo, and it actually took like about an hour so after the show I went to get my tattoo, which you have to sign these waivers and these forms. So definitely maybe arrive. I think I did arrive early, but it still took a while. So I would say maybe arrive 30 minutes earlier to your appointment to fill out all of your forms and stuff, and then also just like nail down the actual design that he's going to put on your body, not just your inspiration for the design. So because that part took like about 40 minutes, which was longer than I think either of us was expecting. It took like 40 minutes for us to nail down the star, because what he drew before, I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying exactly. I'm not trying to be like that kind of person, but remember, this is going to be in my body forever. I said, no, that's not what I want. And then so we kind of went through like 2 or 3 different trials of the stars and the formation, until I was satisfied. The actual tattoo only took like maybe 15 minutes, maybe less. but because it took so long, I actually ended up having to cancel my test kitchen reservation because I didn't think I was going to make it in time. So I canceled that. I can't remember what I ate for dinner. Oh, I remember what I ate for dinner. I do. So I canceled that. I do like the tattoo, so I ended up eating dinner in the at the galley. I brought my dinner down to my room, but I got butter chicken and rice because they had their butter chicken up there. It was okay. And remember, this is in the galley. They Razzle Dazzle does have a secret menu of butter chicken, and I do think that might be better than what I had at the galley, but it was good. The guy, he made sure to give me a good amount of chicken, because at first I wasn't trying to eat too much because I kind of wasn't super duper hungry, but he was like, are you sure this is like all you want? And I was like, you know what, go ahead and put another scoop of chicken on there. So that happened. But honestly, that was the end of the night. They did have like a 70s themed party in the manor that night, and I was gonna go to it originally. Like, I had disco earrings and everything to wear, and I actually wore those to my tattoo appointment. But I ended up not. I went to bed because I was tired. I did get this shirt though. That was probably one of the last things I did was buy this shirt. I wanted one of those vanity shirts that has Virgin Voyages on the back, or maybe just have Virgin on the back. But that was like $60, and I wasn't paying over $50. I will probably budget to get that shirt next time. So yeah, that was the last full day on Virgin Voyages. And leave a comment on how you'd spend your day in St. Kitts. I definitely do feel like this is a place you need to have an excursion for. It didn't seem like there was much to see outside of the cruise terminal area. But what would you do in St. Kitts and Nevis? The excursions were actually pretty cool. They had like a railroad excursion and things like that, but this is the one we chose. Anyway, sidetracking. Now, our next day is the disembarkation. So I'll just talk about that process. With disembarkation, you actually kind of start the process the night before, maybe 2 nights before too. You can choose the time that you want to disembark. They do suggest that you do it before 10 to avoid heavy traffic, but you can disembark at 10. They just say they would rather you do it a little bit earlier just for your sake. So we definitely chose an earlier time. We had chosen 9, I think, but then we switched it to 7 at like the last minute because it's like we ate, there's really nothing else for us to do. So we went ahead and went off. You can still eat at the Razzle Dazzle or the Wake as long as you have a reservation, of course. You might be able to wait list, but if you have a reservation, you can still make reservations on the last morning as well. And, you know, have your last meal be in one of the restaurants. We didn't opt for that. We originally opted for that, but we weren't sure if we were going to have enough time before the traffic started. So we ended up canceling that a little earlier in the week. So when you disembark, you can either choose to drop your band in the bin, even though I didn't see it. So if I wanted to, I didn't see where to do it. Or you can just take it with you as a souvenir. It's made from recycled materials. So that's a fun fact. So for Puerto Rico, when you disembark, they have the terminal. And if you're going to do an Uber, there's going to be taxis sitting out right in front of you. But if you're going to do an Uber or Lyft, I think Uber is more preferred in Puerto Rico. They're going to have you, or at least our guy did, they're going to have you be picked up in the parking lot a little bit down from the cruise terminal. It's going to be across the street and a little further down. That's where our Uber driver ended up picking us up at. There's a parking lot right next to the cruise terminal, so I don't understand why we couldn't just go there. But it seems like they are making that the designated area, that other parking lot, which is a bit further. Disembarkation was really easy. I think you can choose a transfer, of course, at additional cost if you like, but it is for a certain time. I think because our flight was before the times that were available, we didn't choose the transfer, but you can do that. When we got to the airport at San Juan, this is just if you're traveling in to San Juan, leaving San Juan. We completely walked past this, but you actually have to, before you even go through airport security, before you check your bag, you have to have your bags inspected and go through a scanner. It's not as intense as airport security where you have to take off your shoes and all of that stuff, but you still have to have your bag go through that scanner and get tagged with the inspected, like it was inspected or something. And then you can go to the desk to check your bag in, or then you can go to the TSA line. So that was interesting. And of course, my mom had a wheelchair assistant service. We actually had the same guy that had us when we first came here. Because we had our global entry approved at this point, we were able to use TSA pre-check, and we flew through that line. I mean, typically when she has her wheelchair service, we get through the line pretty quickly because she has wheelchair service. But we got through it even faster this time. That was a benefit. Now, we were there extremely early, so we sat for 2 hours until it was time for our flight. So that was disembarkation day. If you have questions, specific questions, please let me know, because that might jog my memory a little bit better. But yes, that was our full Virgin Voyages series, at least for this itinerary, which was the sunset in the Lesser Antilles. If you liked this video, please leave a like down below. Please leave a comment on what you thought of this series. Again, if you have any questions, or if you went on this itinerary, what did you do? I would love to know. Or if you were on my same voyage, let me know. I'm definitely planning on going on another Virgin Voyages cruise. Very excited. I was really impressed. Definitely want to go with friends as well. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. But until the next video, I will see you later, Overthinkers.